Hey everyone, Vortex here, and today I'm going to be showcasing you, finally, my Bagra Army deck profile. Bagra Army is a control strategy that is relatively cheap to acquire. They're all like commons, uncommons, and rares. No SRs at the moment. Currently, the deck evolves around the Tamer and bringing out big level 6s like Blastmon and Tactimon to control the board or swing for game. This deck does get future support in BT11 and beyond with stuff like Lilithmon and Bagramon himself. Anyways, if you do like this deck profile, please do leave a like, subscribe to the channel and ring the bell. I'm always uploading new Digimon content, and if you enjoy gameplay, deck profiles and more in the future, yeah, please do feel free to subscribe. Anyways, let's get straight into the deck profile. Alright, and let's get into the deck profile. We'll be starting off with the eggs. For the eggs, we're playing 4 Demi-Meramon. Essentially, the reason why we play this one is because it cycles, and we actually need things in the discard for Tactimon. We also need some stuff in the discard for, or just hitting stuff with save, so this can get on deletion as well. And it's probably the best purple egg that they've produced, quite frankly. That isn't an archetypal based one. So we play 4 of those. Then we'll get onto the rookies. And then first off we play 4 Soundbirdmon. This is probably the best starter you can get. Essentially, if you have the Tamer in play, this essentially allows you to draw 2 and gain a memory when you attack, and then you can also save when this gets deleted, which it will because it's only 1k DP. One of the things that I don't like about this card is the fact that it's not a Bagra Army card, which is not great in my opinion, just due to the fact that you kind of just want it to, be a Bagra Army so it can get effects. This could be, potentially brought up with the Tactimon or something like that. So we play 4 of that, best one. Then we play 4 of the Searcher, Chuchumon. This allows you to reveal top level cards, a Bagra Army and a Uemano, which is the archetype Tamer. And then if it gets deleted, you save. And it's important to note that all of the Bagra Army cards and the Soundbirdmon have the most important inheritable of when an effect trashes this Digi-Evolution card, gain 1 memory. This is the controlling aspect of the deck. There'll be a lot of cards in the level 4 to level 6 range that essentially says that trash a source to do X thing. So this does pretty much everything. The only problem with this card is that it costs 4 to play. It does come up sometimes, but it also allows you to choke potentially on your opponent's turn, because if they give you 3, you could just play this one and then you'll give them 1 memory, and then you'll be able to use stuff like Troopmon to give yourself 2 memory to go back to your turn. So we play 4 of those. And then to finish off the rookie lineup, we play the BT2 Gabumon. Essentially just another piece. We use it for its inheritable to draw 2 and trash 1. It does actually sometimes come up when you want to Digicross or force Digicross in this deck. Having the on deletion effect is sometimes quite good from that as well. But yeah, you just primarily play this just because the draw 2 trash 1, and that is the rookie lineup. 12 rookies put together, and now let's get on to the champions. The first one being Madleomon, probably the best disruptor we have currently. Essentially, what this does is that if your opponent adds a card from there to your opponent, if the card adds a card to your opponent's hand, you can trash a source to trash cards in their hand equal to the number of cards added by the effect. So essentially what this means is that if they go for a Vmon search and pick 1 up, you can trash a source to then force them to discard one, and you also gain a memory because they all have the inheritable of effect trashes with the Digi-Evolution card. Get a memory. So this is the controlling aspect of it, and this is probably the best one currently so far because a lot of decks do end up searching, Tamers search, but if the deck is very low power, this card actually becomes kind of dead. The actual key thing about this card is that it has Digicross -2, so essentially you're playing this for free cost, so that's pretty good in itself. So we play 4 of it. Then we play 4 Troopmon. Similar disruption effect. If your opponent plays a Digimon or a Tamer, you can trash one of this Digimon's evolution sources and gain a memory. So essentially, if you trash one from underneath this, or you're force trashing from the Tactimon or something like that, you're essentially getting 2 memory for them playing something. So pretty much everything they get becomes a +2 cost. So that Vmon becomes a 5 cost. And yeah, it has save, it has the inheritable effect, so we play 4 of it. Then we play probably the worst one as well. This is Digimon. Its effect is pretty good. It allows you to, if you don't have a Uemano, which is the in-house archetype Tamer, just to play it for free essentially, and it has save. You can also play it from on-play and when digivolving, so if you play it from Tactimon somehow and you don't have the Tamer out, you can play it from this. And it's also important to note that all of these pretty much have save, so that synergizes with the Tamer when we get to it. Then we get onto the non-Bagra Army stuff, which is the 4 Eismon scatter mode. This is the last piece of the discard engine. If you hit this card, you pretty much win the game, I would say, because you're able to discard a lot of your pieces that you just don't need, and you're also able to find your Tamers a lot more. So yeah, we play 4 of it. And then to finish it off, we play 1 Lowimon. Sometimes we have problems going for game in this deck, and so by playing the Lowimon, just increases the chance that you're able to swing for games. So yeah, we played the 1 of it. And that is the champion lineup. There are no level 5s, there are only level 6s. So we'll go on to Tactimon. Probably the best level 6 that we have currently for Bagra Army. Essentially what this does is that you can play 2 level 4 or lower Digimon cards with Bagra Army and their traits from your trash and ignoring their play costs. And those Digimon gain blocker until the end of your opponent's turn. And then if on your opponent's turn, when you would trash one of your Digimon's Digi-Evolution cards, you may trash from underneath this card instead. This is probably one of the best controlling piece that you can have in the deck, because you can bring out stuff like the Mad Leo, the Troopmon, to then have 2 blockers, but they also disrupt on your opponent's turn, and you'll always have sources underneath the Tactimon because you force Digicross them all the time, essentially. So we play 4 of that, and then we play 2 of the Blastmon. Blastmon, I feel, is good, but I don't think it's the better one out of the 2. It has Rush just on its own, but if you were to play this Digimon with 3 Digi-Evolution cards, again forcing 3 sources underneath this guy, it gains Blitz instead, or it gains Blitz also, so it gains Rush and Blitz. And then you tend to use this when you want to apply a lot of pressure, maybe going for game, obviously, but the actual thing that gets overlooked quite a bit is the opponent's turn effect. When your opponent Digimon attacks by trashing one of this Digi-Evolution sources, you get to delete a level 4 or lower Digimon, one of your opponents, obviously. So it's actually kind of like controlly. It actually won me a game. If you watched the Armor Rush game that I posted a couple of days ago now, last one actually won me the game where Tactimon wouldn't. So you gotta respect last one, but yeah, I don't think you play more than 2 at this point. Running up the Digimon, we have 2 Defexmon. decks like to go wide this format, and we have to play Death Hexmon. It also has weirdly synergy with this deck because you can actually just Digivolve on top of your Tactimon or Blastmon. I wouldn't say you want to do it, but sometimes, you know, it's actually not that bad. We only play 2 of it because 3 is a little bit too bricky for this deck, so 2 is perfectly fine. And that is all the Digimon. And so let's go into the Tamers, and this is the main guy himself, Amano. So it's a free cost to play, and all turns when a purple card is placed under this Tamer, draw 1 and gain 1 memory. That's really important because there are going to be effects like the Soundbirdmon where you can put just a purple Digimon underneath this Tamer or whatever Tamer you have on play to draw a card. So it triggers basically off anything you have. And then the main thing about this card is that your turn, once per turn, when you would play a level 4 or higher Digimon card with Bagra Army in its trace, by placing up to 3 purple Digimon cards from under your Tamers in the played Digimon cards, Digivolution cards, reducing the cost of that Digimon by 2 for each placed card. So this essentially means that your Blastmons and your Tactimons become 7 cost. However, what you don't realize is that these can actually stack. So sometimes you'll be able to have like loads of stuff underneath these Tamers because it's your resource engine essentially, and you're able to go for like Tactimons for 1 cost, and it does come up quite a lot, especially when you hit a lot of this Tamer. So with that stacking, it's really, really good. The only problem that I have with this card is that, you know, you can't play more of it essentially. It's the backbone of this deck, and you definitely need to be playing 4. If you play less than 4, I don't think you're playing the deck right whatsoever. So we play at 4, and then to finish off the Tamer lineup, we play 2 Matt Ishida. Sometimes we just need to, you know, add a certain card from our discard that we might have not wanted to discard earlier, or we might have played earlier. And yeah, this is our way to retrieve those cards essentially. The main target that I've been picking up with this card is Buzzing Fist, because it does act as an advantage engine in itself, and essentially it becomes a 1 cost. So yeah, we play 2 Maashida. I wouldn't change this, quite frankly, because you don't want to see this card all the time, because if you have some of these out, you'll be able to gain a lot of memory anyways, so just play 2 of these. And now we get on to the final part, which is the options. And for the options, we're playing 4 Buzzing Fist. It's your advantage engine in the deck. It's your consistent advantage engine, I should say. So essentially, you can reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 with Bagra Army in its traits, and add them onto your hand, and then you trash the rest. Then you can place 1 Digimon card with Bagra Army in its trace from your trash under 1 of your Tamers. So essentially, it becomes, you know, another like life. The discard pile becomes another life for your Bagra Army guys, because you can then put them under your Tamers and then use them for Digicrossing or Forced Digicrossing in the later turn. Another important thing is that its security effect is really good. It says you may play a black Tamer here, but it's actually you just play Amano, the Tamer that I showed you a bit earlier, the Amano. You play it from your hand for no cost, and then you get to add this card to your hand. So either way, you're getting advantage for playing this card. And so yeah, we play 4 of it. Then we go on to the 2 Missed Memory Boost. Sometimes we just need a little bit more extra memory, and Missed Memory Boost obviously does help with that. Trashing stuff from to the discard is not a problem in this deck, because obviously we can get it back with Buzzing Fist, we can get it back with Tactimon, we can get it back through a lot of ways. So the trash is an upside for us, and you know, additional draw 1's not that bad either. So we play 2 of it, and then to finish off the deck, I was testing this card. I saw a couple lists running this card. Played 2 Death the Cannon. When I was looking at the purple package, there wasn't like a good it's weird to say, but there wasn't like a good option card to delete a big guy, essentially, for me. Like, I think there's like Trump Sword and stuff like that, but for me, this answers a lot of the problems of this deck. This deck can't really deal with big stack Digimon, so getting this is pretty good. Also, the fact that it can also delete 7 costs as well is pretty good, and it just ends up becoming a more controlling Iron Fisted Onslaught, because Iron Fisted Onslaught forces you to go for the highest DP cost, I believe, whereas this one you can just pick a level 6 or a level 7 if you have 10 cards in your trash, which you'll always do. So those are the options, and that is my deck profile. Anyways, that's been my deck profile on Bagra Army. Currently, I don't think it's a great deck, but I think it's going in the right direction with all of its controlling aspects and going into these big boss monsters. The issue that I do have currently at the moment is the fact that it evolves around a single Tamer, and we've seen in the past that decks that evolve around a single Tamer tend to be not very meta relevant. So we'll see how it goes, especially in BT11. But yep, if you like this video, like I said earlier, please do feel free to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.